Hi, a little update from the shop, mainly about the Microweily and the Schaublin lathe. As I mentioned in the previous video, I did exchange the O-rings in this handle and in this gear selector. So that stopped the leaking from the headstock or main spindle. But it also had a leak from this lever and a little bit from this one. And it was the same problem. I could see in the manual that they also were made with a bushing with an outside and an inside O-ring. And they were just getting hard and they didn't hold the dimension as they should from new. So they had a little oil leak. This one were easy to change. It was made the same way as the other, where the bushing were bolted with 2 bolts or screws from both sides, and then it was just to pull it out. This one were a really pain in the butt because the bushing were fixed with a set screw from this side and in. And because this is not a European lathe, they didn't design it so user-friendly as many other probably would. I won't use any bad language, but this is crap. I had to remove the spindle support or bearing in the tailstock end, pull the lead screw, feed screw and the start-stop spindle away, and then this section where the electronics are mounted, I could remove those, but because they were so clever to all the wires that are connected to the knobs and lights come up from above, and because of that I couldn't remove it enough to enter the set screw. And they made a threaded hole in this one and screw some sort of union or wire clamp into this, and also a locking nut above. The nut I could easily remove, but I couldn't twist the cable clamp or what. I don't know the English word for it, but it was it's really bad designed. But I managed to twist it a little bit so I could get a long Torx bits from one of the screwdriver sets or cordless drill sets I have that fitted into the umbraco or hex bolt, and then I could hold it with a finger, and in the gap I could take a wrench and turn it, and that way I could loosen it and pull it apart, and vice versa when I assemble it. Normally you wouldn't do such a silly thing, or if you did, you would make some sort of holes so you could reach it from the outside, in my world. But I think most of these lathes are made just so they are cheap to manufacture, and then away with it, and then it lasts 25 years, and then it's probably worn out, and then you buy another. That's what you get when you don't pay the double price of a good European lathe. That's all the small details you are missing. The general quality of the lathe is good, and it's accurate, and it runs smooth, but they really lack some good design when you need to disassemble or assemble it. But you can't get all from nothing. Let's go look at the Schaublin. As you can see here, I have made the Schaublin stand. It's very simple. It's just a 60 by 100 square tube and a 60 by 60 welded to a little plate, and a plate has been welded in this end and mounted directly on the workbench top plate. it's the easiest way I could figure out a way to mount it. When I took the size in comparison, it doesn't take up much room, and it takes up room I don't really use for anything else. So it's okay, I think. It also has a height where it's way too low for me, but now I can sit on a chair and use it. So that's gonna be nice for all the small things. Standing up in many hours is hard for your legs, so it's nice to sit down once in a while. The lathe gonna be mounted on those two brackets, or I don't know what the English word are for them, but these two pieces is being welded to the square tube. One of my followers on Instagram mentioned these small spacers or washers. They have a radius, or I don't know what we call it in English. They have a shape that will match up in the bottom of the machine casting, and because they are mounted on 3 spots, there should be no movement at all. It will self-align, so to say, not align, but it will always, it won't stand and tip. So that's a good way to do it, and also it won't twist as much. So they are gonna be placed in between, and then I will of course use some bolts, and here I will use our thread because it needs to be that long. But because I will use these washers, I really didn't need to make it like this. I could just use some regular flat stock, but now it's made and it would work nevertheless. So that's just a little update. So next I will add the mounting pads, and afterwards I will begin to look at the motor. As I mentioned in the earlier video, I will use a VFD, so I will only need one belt pulley, and I will adjust the RPMs on the VFD. So the motor I will make some sort of arrangement so it will hang, and by gravity it will tension the belt. I think it will work, and should be an easy way to make it. So just a little update. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.